Today's lesson is called Your Cat's Personality and You. Hello everyone, my name is Jeff.
My name is Roger, and today we're going to continue talking about cat personalities. You may not know it, but cats have different kinds of personalities. A lot of people think they're all alike. Oh, you've seen one cat, you've seen them all. But in this particular case, no, we know that cats have different personalities. The basic types that have been narrowed down by researchers include neurotic, outgoing, dominant, impulsive, and agreeable. And I guess the agreeable kind of cat is the cat we all want to have.
There you go. You want to have an agreeable cat. We can all agree that agreeable cats do sound like the best of the bunch. Anyways, researchers have said this. There are cat personalities. This is a reality. It is for real. It sounds weird, but cats do have 5 types of personalities, or at least there are many personalities, but you can kind of narrow them down, let's say, into 5 groups. But why? Why do cats have personalities? Why does this make sense at all? Well, we're going to start to learn about this today. Why do cats have personalities? Where do their personalities come from? Okay, folks, let's go ahead and start answering this question. But first, let's take a short break.
One might assume that a cat's behavior derives from its DNA. However, as a recent UK study has shown, it may be influenced by something much simpler, its human's personality.
各位好，第一部分我们看到名词 behavior 指行为、举止。例如 any kind of violent behavior isn't acceptable at school. 任何暴力行为在学校是不被允许的。另外，这个字的字尾加上 al 就成了形容词 behavioral 指行为的。举例来说 Daisy wrote her research paper on the behavioral habits of raccoons. Daisy 的研究论文写的是关于浣熊的行为习惯。接着我们看到单字 derive 这个字是动词，指源自于，之后接 from 加名词。例如 Many words in the English language are derived from Greek or Latin. 许多英文字是源自于希腊或拉丁文。另外，这个字除了上面的意思，还可以指取得，像是 The data in this report is derived from our survey of the city. 这份报告中的数据是从我们的城市调查得来的。
Okay, so let's talk about why cats have these kinds of personalities. Well, one might assume that a cat's behavior derives from its DNA. Okay, that is a pretty understandable assumption here. The verb to assume just means that you think something is true based on some information that you have, but you may or may not be correct. So like Jeff and I are from the United States, so a lot of people assume we speak English. They'll probably assume that we like to eat hamburgers and pizza and stuff like that, which is pretty much true for us, but not necessarily with other people.
It's funny that you should say that. When I first came to Taiwan, okay, I went and visited my wife's parents. We weren't married there quite yet. They were my girlfriend's parents at that time. And in the fridge, they had put 6 or 7 six-packs of Coca-Cola.
Wow.
I remember opening the refrigerator and saying, wow, you guys must like your Coca-Cola. Wow. They're like, no. We know that you're coming here, and we knew that you were visiting and that you're from America, so we assumed that you drank Coca-Cola. In fact, they assumed that all I drank was Coca-Cola.
Well, I've not drunk Coke in many years, but in any case here, that is an example of an assumption. That's the noun, an assumption. I can make an assumption, but here the verb is to assume. So any person might assume that a cat's personality, a cat's behavior derives or comes from its DNA. Basically, its DNA, its basic chromosomal structure influences its personality. It's in your genes, and people probably think this about people too. Different kinds of personalities are derived from their DNA structure.
So, does the cat's behavior come from its DNA? Let's find out. However, the next sentence says, as a recent UK study has shown, it may be influenced by something much simpler. It's humans' personality. So we're not ruling out the whole DNA thing, but get this, we've got a new study. There's some new research that came out of the UK there. It says here that cats' behavior or their personality might be influenced by something much simpler than DNA. It's humans' personality. Yeah, here we're saying the cat has a human. Usually people say, oh, that person has a cat or has a dog. If you flip that around, instead of saying, oh, the cat's owner might be influencing things, you can say that the cat has a human and that its human's personality might be influencing its personality. How interesting. All right, folks, with that, it's time for us to take a short break, but don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
In the study, more than 3,000 cat owners were surveyed about their personalities and their cat's behavior and health. Based on the responses gathered, researchers found a correspondence between the owner's personality traits and their cat's conduct. For example, cat owners that scored high for neuroticism were more likely to report behavioral and health issues, such as anxiety, aggression, and being overweight in their cats. On the other hand, agreeable owners tended to have cats that were calm, friendly, and healthy.
第二部分我们看到名词 correspondence 意思是相似、关联。举例来说 I don't think there is a correspondence between the two songs. 我不认为这两首歌有什么关联。另外，这个字除了上面的意思，还可以指来往信件，像是Henry stores all of the correspondence he gets from friends and goes through the letters every few years. Henry 收藏了和朋友间所有的来往信件，每隔几年就会拿出来翻阅。接着我们看到单字 trait， 这个字是名词，意思是特征、特性。例如 Beatrice inherited traits from both her parents, green eyes from her father and big ears from her mother. Beatrice 遗传到双亲的特征，爸爸的绿眼睛和妈妈的大耳朵。再来，我们看到单字 aggression， 这个字是名词，指攻击、好斗、侵略。举例来说 When people show too much aggression, they become uncomfortable to be around. 如果一个人太具攻击性，在他身边会令人感到不舒服。
Okay, so again, we're trying to figure out exactly why cats have the personalities that they do. And of course, people might assume that their personalities derive from the DNA structure, but a UK study has shown something different. Cats' personalities are influenced by their owners' personalities. And in the study, more than 3,000 cat owners were surveyed about their personalities and their cat's behavior and health. So these people who conducted the research gathered all this information together, asking questions to the owners of the cats about their personalities and about the behavior of their cats.
And based on the responses gathered, researchers found a correspondence between the owner's personality traits and their cat's conduct. Oh, no. Remember, during day one of our lesson, the first part of our lesson, I talked about my cat in college. That cat was nuts. It was crazy. It used to attack me. It used to attack people that I had over for parties and stuff like that. It was a crazy cat. And get this, apparently, maybe it was me, okay, that was to blame for this cat's bizarre behavior. Maybe my cat was crazy because secretly I am crazy. Yes, the next sentence says, based on the responses gathered from this particular survey, researchers found a correspondence, okay, a connection between the owner's personality traits and their cat's conduct. So here, conduct, that's the way that you act. They're saying that your cat's behavior, it's probably connected to you and your personality traits. Yeah, your personality traits, those are your personal characteristics, the things that make you you.
Yep, your tendencies, the things you tend to do that you often do. We could say, for example, that a very valued trait in workers is their willingness to work overtime, at least from the boss's perspective. But in this particular case, we're talking about personality traits. And, of course, the cat's conduct, which is similar to their behavior. Your conduct and your behavior are basically the same thing. How you conduct yourself when you're in the presence of others. And I guess they found a correspondence, a similarity between the owner's personality traits and the conduct of their cats. So it was a correspondence, things that were similar.
There you go. Now let's move on. The next sentence says, for example, cat owners that scored high for neuroticism were more likely to report behavioral and health issues such as anxiety, aggression, and being overweight in their cats.
Indeed. So again, this is an example of this correspondence here. If you were a neurotic human, then your cats were kind of strange as well. They had behavioral issues, which means they behaved badly and they needed some help with those issues. And some of those issues would include anxiety, being scared of things, aggression, attacking people and things like that, and being too fat, being overweight.
How about that? Now, on the other hand, agreeable owners tended to have cats that were calm, friendly, and healthy. And there's another correspondence. How interesting. This research coming out of the UK is really super cool. Anyways, folks, with that, it's time for us to take a short break. But don't worry, don't fret. We'll be right back after this.
These results are similar to the findings of a previous study on parent-child relationships. In that study, a parent's neuroticism was shown to have serious negative consequences on a child's physical and mental health. Such parallels shouldn't seem strange, though. Many cat owners interact with their cats the same way that they would with family members, and the style of interaction tends to be influenced by the owner's personality traits. It's likely, then, that some of those traits will rub off. So, before you blame your cat for misbehaving, reflect on the kind of energy you're giving off.
第三部分我们看到单字 finding 这个字是形容词，指研究结果，常用复数形。我们可以说 The scientists' findings confirmed that global warming is a significant problem. 科学家的研究结果证实全球暖化是一个很严重的问题。最后我们看到名词Parallel 指相似之处，可相比拟的人事物，像是 Writers often mention the parallels between their own lives and those of the characters they create. 作家常提及他们的人生与所创造角色人生的相似之处，或是 It is possible to draw many social and economic parallels between Taiwan and Japan. 台湾和日本在社会经济方面也许可以找到许多共通点。另外，这个字也可以是形容词，意思是平行的、并列的。例如 Between the parallel rows of trees is a walking path. 两排平行的树中间是人行道。
Okay, let's talk some more about cat personalities and how they're related to the personalities of their owners or of their humans, as we mentioned earlier. Now, these results are similar to the findings of a previous study on parent-child relationships. So if you conduct a study or do some research, the information that you get and the information that you gather are your findings. Okay, your findings, the things that you found, the information that you gathered from your research.
Results, conclusions, so on and so forth. When we're talking about results, we're talking about findings, especially if you're talking about a study. Yeah, what did you find out? What do you figure out? What are your findings? How interesting. So they've surveyed these people. They found this correspondence between cat owners and their cats. And yes, these results are similar to a previous study, another study that compared parent and child relationships. Apparently, there are correspondences to be had in both, and they're similar in both cases, cat and owner and parent and child. Now, in that study about the parents and children, in that study, a parent's neuroticism was shown to have serious negative consequences on a child's physical and mental health. So a neurotic parent might spawn a child with physical problems that are a result of this parent's neuroticism.
Yep, if you're neurotic, if you worry about things too much, you're oversensitive, then that will have some consequences on your children. They'll have physical problems. Maybe they won't grow tall. Maybe they'll be overweight or something. And they'll also have some problems with mental health. They might hang out with the wrong crowd when they're in high school and stuff like that and turn to a life of crime. Who knows? Now, such parallels shouldn't seem strange, though. Again, these are parallels. When we see things that are the same, that's what parallel means. Two lines that never intersect, those are parallel lines. So these parallels or these similarities should not seem unusual. They should not seem strange. Now, the next sentence says, many cat owners interact with their cats the same way that they would with family members, and the style of interaction tends to be influenced by the owner's personality traits. It's likely, then, that some of these traits will rub off. So it's basically saying that if you behave a certain way, your personality traits will rub off on your cat. It's unavoidable.
There you go. To rub off, that means you kind of influence someone indirectly. Okay, so you're not directly trying to make them act in a certain way or to give them a certain personality, but just by interacting with them, having a style of interaction, certain things are going to change in that animal, let's say. They're going to start to act in a certain way. You're going to rub off on them. Yes, here we have the verb interact, by the way. We keep using this word, interact. If two things or two people, let's say, interact, they communicate meaningfully. Usually they're talking back and forth. One person says one thing, the other person says another. They're actually having a conversation between one another. They're not talking at one another, they're talking with one another. Anyways, interaction does work between two people, and it can also work between a person and an animal as well. So be careful when you're interacting with your animal. You don't want to give it bad energy or give off bad vibes that might rub off on the animal, and it might affect them negatively.
Right, so cat owners talk to their cats like they talk to their family members. Hey, how are you today, Fluffy? What would you like to eat? Hey, are you tired? Would you like to take a nap? And so that kind of behavior rubs off on the cat, and the cats will probably expect that kind of behavior out of their master, and they'll behave that way as well. So before you blame your cat for misbehaving, reflect on the kind of energy you're giving off. So if the cat is crazy, neurotic, and tearing into things and attacking your friends when they come over to visit, well, take a look in the mirror. It's probably learning those behaviors from you. The cat is misbehaving because of you. It's just learning from you.
Oh, no, I hope my cat wasn't crazy because I'm secretly crazy. I didn't attack anybody who used to come over to my house. It was just the cat doing that. But one way or another, I am trying to reflect on this to make sense of it. I'm thinking about it. I am pondering it. I'm thinking, what type of energy was I giving off that maybe that it had a negative effect on my cat? Yes, I'm giving this a thought. I'm reflecting on it. By the way, I talked about this earlier. If you give off something like energy, let's say, you're interacting with your environment in such a way that, let's say, people or animals can sense something. You might not be saying something out loud. You might not be saying that directly, let's say. But yes, okay, you're walking around a room, let's say, and people can sense how you're feeling and stuff like that. You are giving off energy, or you are giving off vibes in this way. All right, folks, with that, our lesson is now in the books, and it's time for you guys to hear from the Chinese teacher.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。读到课文第3部分有一个句子是 Such parallels shouldn't seem strange though. 不过这样的相似处似乎也不奇怪。那句子里面的 though 是当副词，表示可是、不过，常常会摆在句尾，意思就跟 however 差不多。那另外这边还用到一个单字叫做 parallel， 我们来学它的字首字根。好 P-A-R-A 这个字首有很多不同的意思，包含像 beside 旁边， near 附近， beyond 在什么之外， contrary to 相反等等。那从 beside 和 near 它又引申出那种辅助啊或是保护的意思，像降落伞 parachute 它就是由 P-A-R-A 表示保护，再加上 C-H-U-T-E 表示掉落合在一起组成的。那字首字根它表面意思就是保护以防止掉落，所以 parachute 是降落伞。好，那么在 parallel 这个字当中呢，它的字首 P-A-R-A 表示旁边， L-L-E-L 表示彼此，在彼此的旁边。那么 parallel 当形容词它是用来描述平行的，那平行的两条线是不是一直都在彼此的旁边呢？也许就可以用这样的方式来记住 parallel 的意思了。好，那么这个字在课文里面则是当名词来表达相似之处，或者是可以相比拟的人或者是事物。我们顺便补充几个相同字首的单字。第一个补充的是 paradox， P-A-R-A-D-O-X， 它的字首 P-A-R-A 表示相反， D-O-X 表示意見，合在一起Paradox 就表示矛盾的想法或者是似是而非的言论。第二个补充 paraphrase， P-A-R-A-P-H-R-A-S-E， paraphrase 它的字首 P-A-R-A 就表示在什么旁边。那么 phrase 这个字有叙说的意思，我们在旁边呢用另外一种方式来叙述，这样应该可以联想到这个 paraphrase 它有释义，换句话说的意思，也就是用别的言语文字来去解释，换一种方式来解释。好，那么第三个补充的是 paranormal， P-A-R-A-N-O-R-M-A-L， 这个字首 P-A-R-A 它表示超越，在什么之外。那么 normal 表示正常的，超越正常的，所以合在一起 paranormal 就表示超自然的或是科学没有办法解释的。好，课文最后提到说，很多的猫饲主和他们猫咪互动就像家人一样，这个互动方式往往受到主人的人格特质而影响。课文有写到说 It's likely then that some of those traits will rub off，很可能那当中的某些特质呢就会产生影响。那这边它是用到 it is likely 加 that 子句来表达很有可能怎么样，这个 that 也可以省略不用。那我们补充另外一个可以表达可能性的句型是主词 is likely to 加原形动词，用来表达某人或某事物很可能会怎么样。likely 的前面还可以加上 more 或是 less 等等的副词来修饰可能的程度，像是 No one is more likely to win the competition than Emily， 没有人比 Emily 更有可能赢得那场比赛了。好，那么以上是今天重点整理，我们回顾今天的单字吧。
Assume. I didn't expect you to treat me to dinner. I had assumed we would split the bill. Behavior.Janice was sent to the principal's office because of her bad behavior. Correspondence. There's a correspondence between the weather and people's moods. Conduct. A committee is currently investigating the CEO's conduct. Physical. Bernard believes that personality is far more important than physical appearance. Parallel.
These vacuums are considered to be without parallel for their power and design.
Interact.School helps young children learn how to interact with others.
Discussion Starter starts now!
Here's our discussion starter for today. Do you accept the findings of the study that a cat's personality will be affected by its owner? Why or why not?
Now, I think that the findings of this study are pretty good, but I don't think it's totally true for a few reasons. Now, first of all, there's the fact that, yes, cats might have their own innate personalities, okay? They might have their own nature. So maybe the fact that their owners act in a certain way might have no effect on a certain cat at all. Secondly, there's my personal experience. I did own a cat once, and the cat was a crazy madman animal, okay? We're talking nuts. Now, I don't think that I'm nuts. I think after about 40 years on planet Earth, I know that I'm not a crazy person. So I'm hoping that secretly I'm not nuts. I'm also hoping that this cat here wasn't crazy because of me. So yeah, I don't think that's the case. So I don't know if I'm totally swayed by these findings.
Well, it makes sense to me that owners affect their cats because it seems that the cats I've had in the past were all very similar in personality to me. Although, of course, there are exceptions. Back in college, of course, we had a cat like you had, Jeff, that was crazy, insane, neurotic, out of its mind, completely off its rocker. It lost all its marbles, which is nothing like me.
Okay, everyone. With that, today's article is now complete. But, as always, we sure hope that you guys have enjoyed reading along with us. Anyways, I'm Jeff.
I am Roger.
See you next time.